Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And I know I've been in this outfit a couple of videos, but that's because I decided to binge a few videos in a day because I was just feeling good, but that's beside the point. But I'm getting on here because I have a quick story time for you guys. You know, I used to stay with the story times, but I'm getting more periodically through as my days go by. But this particular story time was very much so recent, and it was a little creepy. Y'all ever had a creepy, weird ooh-job where you want to just say, I'll walk the rest of the way? We're going to get into this story time because it was a bit too much for my little soul to handle. So I get in an Uber, and I'm coming from work after a long day, getting off the train, catching the Uber, my nearest metro, to go home, which is maybe literally like a 10 to 12 minute ride home. So we get in the car, and first it looks like a creep. I'm looking like the older version of The Weeknd with that crazy hair like The Weeknd had. And so I get in, and he like, name. I'm like, Brittany. He like, name. I'm like, Brittany. He's like, Brittany. I'm like, yeah, nigga, you there? So anyway, so I get in the car, got my music in, got my AirPods in, listen to my music. He act like he flickering with stuff in the front, see like he can't get himself together, like he unprepared, unorganized or something. So then he looks in the little glove department. Not the glove department, but that little box that's in between the passenger and driver seat you lift up, you can store stuff in like an extra storage space. So he looks in there, he kind of elbows me in my knee. Mind you, the car is small and I'm a big girl, so you know, but he hit me on the knee, so I'm like, okay. So then he starts talking very softly, like I thought he was on the phone, but he was talking to me. So I'm like, most Uber drivers know, if you got your AirPods in, you bother your head, don't bother me, don't talk to me. You know, typically after a long day of work, you don't want to talk, you just want to just get to your destination, okay? So I'm in there, and he starts talking. He's like, how you doing? I'm doing good. He said, I used to live over there we used to live. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. Yeah, you know, small world, you know. Like, that's like a common area where a lot of people live at. So he said, I used to live in these apartments. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, yeah, you go to that Chinese spot, is it still there? I'm like, no, I've been there. He said, they had some good fried rice. I'm like, oh, okay, really? Okay, you know, that's good. You know, everybody got their favorite Chinese spot with some good fried rice. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay. So we get like on the street. The street I live on is a long street. So we're on the street. And so we're on the street, and he's like, yeah, man, I stay in, what he said he stayed in? He said, I stay in, he said he stayed Crofton. I stay in Crofton now. I'm like, oh, okay, y'all over here? But anyway, so he's like, yeah, I stay in Crofton. He's like, yeah, but and all the girls over there, like it's over here. Music stopped. Okay. So I'm like, okay, I said, yeah. He's like, yeah, man, you know, usually be girls on the streets, you know, around here. You know, where I live at now, it's kind of big, it's kind of scarce. So I'm like, okay, so there's a grown ass 50-something, 60-year-old man talking about girls, not women, but girls. Okay, so I'm like, okay. So he was like, yeah, get almost to my apartment complex. You know, once you come to my apartment complex, like a little maze, but that's the side point. So we getting closer, going past the little Chinese spot. He told me, that's on something right there. He said, yeah, man, there's a lot of girls around here. He was like, yeah, I miss living over here. And me and my wife, we in a polygamous, poly, whatever that is, where, you know, when you have a third party into your relationship and y'all do what y'all do, and that's beside to each their own. I'm like, oh wow, you telling me this? I don't need to know that. Like, yeah, we're looking for a girl, man. You know, my wife picky. I don't even know why I married her. Like, every time I bring her a girl, she like, nah, that's not it. Like, we do have our fun, and she like kick her to the curb. But I'm looking for a girlfriend. We looking for a girlfriend, but she's so picky. I don't even know why I married her. Nigga, you trying to recruit me? So he telling me this. I'm like, okay. At this point, we are in our entrance. But every time he talk, he looking through the rear view. So I'm like, tried to say, let me out here and I walk the rest of the way. And my feet was hurting that day, but you know what? When it comes to stuff like this, I don't put the walking feet come on quick. So he like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Get close to my apartment. He's like, yeah. But yeah, he said, yeah. But we looking now. But my wife, she picky. I just want a girlfriend, that's all, you know. I'm like, okay. He gets to not even to my bill. I'm like, oh, you let me out right here. Bye, have a good night. He stayed there for a minute, girl. I think like go to a different door, go in my building. And I was supposed to take the trash out because I forgot to take the trash out that morning on my way to work. So you know what? I'll take it out later because you ain't about to catch me slipping, okay? But yeah, I was just so disturbed. Like, after all, I'm looking like he felt comfortable enough to how you go from asking my name to making small talk to talk about that you used to live where I live, to talk about the Chinese spot and the fried rice, talking about you and your wife in a party, whatever it is, relationship, and y'all looking for a girl, and you a whole my father type age talking about girl. Like, most men, grown men, talk about looking for a woman, a wife. You got a wife, but you're looking for a girlfriend for y'all little situation. Why do you need to know that? Like, why did you make me feel uncomfortable? Like, am I wrong for feeling uncomfortable wanting to get out his car? Like, stuff like that, I don't play with, because it's some crazy ass people out, and he looked fucking crazy. Like, I'm gonna insert a picture right here who he looked like, but he looked a hot mess. So I was just turned off the whole time. Why? I came in the house and I was like, he wasn't rude, he wasn't nasty, but he just gave creep vibes. Like, if he saw a little girl walking, he would snatch her up type. So I kind of came in, you know, when you rate on Uber, you give them a 1 star, they gotta ask why. So I was like, I think I put a 1 star, he made me uncomfortable, and something else. And you know, when you rate that low, you won't get that drive again. I just didn't want to get him again, you know. Then I was like, then what if he find out that I gave him 1 star and come back and look for me or something? Like, all the stuff that I was thinking. But I was so creeped out about it. Like, I thought that was so unprofessional. Like, I feel like if I opened that can of worms, that's one thing, but I didn't need to know that, you know. And the fact that he wanted me to know that, like, that was some creep shit. Like, that, I've been in some weird, crazy Uber rides, but that one took it here. I was like, oh Lord, like, it just make you think, like, people mindset nowadays is, with everything going on, it's just so hard to read sometimes, and you don't know what people's actions are, or if they're having a bad day, or triggers. So sometimes you gotta just move yourself in a situation, or just, you know, try not to do too much. But I was just like, it was not the mood. It was not giving what it was supposed to give. I was very much so uncomfortable, but I won't get him again, thank God. I hope I don't ever see his ass again. But well, he don't live over here no more, so I don't know. He knows this area very familiar, so I don't know. But anyway, that's all I want to tell you guys. That was just a crazy Uber experience. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode right here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.